Hi, welcome back. You join me as I aim to finish this Ork Snazzwagon diorama thingy. All I know is it's not tournament legal, but what are we going to do? Arrest me? What are the charges? So the plan is to use this set of orks, Runtherd and Gretchen, as a bit of a garnish for the base, just to fill it out some more and give it some character. So we begin, as all things begin, with the assembly process. It's relatively simple this time around. Very few pieces to put together one of these little guys. I've had this set sat on a shelf for a long time. I think I bought it because it was cheap and I didn't really know what to do with it. And then, lo and behold, opportunity presented itself. Since I'm not much of a gamer, trying to learn those rules makes my brain melt. I figured that turning into a nice little diorama piece would look nice on the shelf. Although it would probably be hard to resell in future compared to some of the combat patrols I've put together. But hey, we're here to have fun, and that's what matters. So as I come close to finishing the assembly on these, the next step is going to be priming them. And due to the winter weather, the only real option is to paint it on by hand using the airbrush matte black primer, but not the matte black I went to school with. It's probably not the best way to prime your minis, but in the middle of winter, it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy. This is going to be the safest option. And then once they're all black, I dry brush them with some white. That's right, we're slap shopping again. If you want a video of someone painting well, go find someone with a ponytail. And with that, they are primed and ready to start painting. So the first step was cracking out some forest sprite and applying that to any of the areas where the flesh would be. Next up, I'll be using some dark wood for the boots, parts of the clothes, and parts of their weapons. Then crack out the broadsword silver for the blades of the knives, the guns, and then some warrior skin for the lighter parts of the clothing. Some slaughter red for some of the finer details, like this gentleman's mask. A splash of pallid bone for, well, the bones, as well as the loincloths and some of the belt buckles. Then I cracked into the wraith bone for some of the finer details, such as the pins on the grenades, some belt buckles, and of course the teeth. It is very satisfying to see the teeth come together. 9 out of 10 dentists agree. And with that, we are approaching the end of painting all the miniatures. So if you like the video so far, if you give me a like and subscribe and help the channel grow, I would be very grateful. I'm just a little guy. I use some red for the dots on the eyes, for cracking out the redistributor armor, for some of the metallics, such as the gun pouch, and some of the buckles. And then onto the lead belcher for further buckles. There's a lot of buckles. But once all these tiny little details are done, we'll be ready to start fixing them to the base of the model. So just using some simple super glue, I set to work, placing them in various areas of the crash site, as if everyone's charging into battle, and the Snazzwagon is doing a big jump in the air, which seems fun. But I think there's just one last thing missing before we can call it complete. So I 3D printed these tiny little smoke clouds, painted them grey, and then using a makeup sponge, I dabbed on some Abaddon black to try and make them look as realistic as possible, within reason. Making sure not to have too much paint on the sponge to give that kind of smoky, faded effect. I just built up layer upon layer until it got darker in certain areas, and stayed kind of light and greyish in others. I've seen similar effects used with cotton buds as well. I then set about gluing those in place just under the back tyres. I think this adds a lot of character to it. And with that, we're ready to call it done. Time for the big reveal.